Hello.
We're running dry, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is the UK Vape Show 388, I think it said there before.
Is it? I ain't even got a fucking chat up. What a fucking
But
professional.
you know what? I ain't even got it up either. It's been a while.
I never felt a fucking thing.
I'm married, you see. That's what happens when you're married.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are minus Vic at the moment.
Minus Vic.
He has said that he might come and join us. He's just tying up some loose ends. I shouldn't have said that. He's just sorted some bits out. He said that he might come and join us a little bit later on. Until then, unfortunately, you have got us three.
Yeah.
Talking about that, what's that behind you?
Oh, it's a fucking poster and some LED lights.
Oh, like I said earlier, I don't know why people use these LED lights. I just think they're pretentious.
You've literally just done that to me before we went live, and I'm like, the bastard, I've stuck these to the wall with sellotape and everything. Right? And as I'm doing that, I turn around and looked at your backdrop, and it's just going.
I've got all sorts of stuff like that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How the fuck are we all?
Hi.
Hi.
And we're also joined by the wonderful Grizzly.
Hi. Yeah, I thought you'd forgot I was here.
What's that behind you?
One by one, but I thought, fuck it, we'll go all together.
Sat there having a fucking conversation between yourselves here. I'll just fucking sit in the corner, son.
Well,
it's
fine.
fine.
We can all come together.
Hey.
Only happens every now and again, son.
It does.
You've got to savor them moments.
It does. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in chat. Hopefully you are all great. Great.
Okay, so
I want to say thank you.
Hot minute.
It has been a hot minute. It's been a week. Hasn't it? No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I don't think we did one last week.
2 weeks. Do you know what? I don't even know where I am anymore.
It's been a hot minute since we've been over here, innit?
It has.
We did. I think we did the last show we did it over on Aiden's, didn't we?
We did the Not the UK Vape Show. The Not the, so we don't get copyright strike by Vic.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
So
exactly. Vic doesn't sue us.
Yeah, exactly. For fraternizing with his name. Stop shouting. Sorry, guys. Like, literally, I'm still messing around with this new microphone.
We did try to tell.
Did you hear how slow he went there?
Just fucking ignored us.
Did you hear how slow he went there when he said this new microphone?
New mic.
This new microphone.
So hopefully it's all right. I'm still learning a lot, and you know what? It's far too confusing. When you spend a little tiny bit of money on a microphone, there's things that you need to learn rather than a plug and play. Throw it in and away you go.
I don't understand that. It's just one knob that says up and down. I don't understand how that's fucking confusing myself.
I keep on pressing this.
That's probably the best one.
Yeah. Fucking hell. I can hear you, Aiden. I didn't even realise you were there, mate.
I didn't know I heard myself.
But yeah, it's learning stuff. But
he's going to start whispering now.
Hello. But yeah, it's learning stuff. So if I am shouting in your ears, sorry, I am sorry. It should have peaking protection anyway, so you're all right.
But again, I've told the story millions of times. I think the first show you come onto at UK Vape Show and you were getting so excited telling this story, you end up shouting down the mic. It was funny as hell.
It's not just that. My internet back then was dreadful. Like, if you remember a million years ago when we first started streaming, like I would have never lasted a full hour on my old internet.
No.
That's what he was like on the charity live when bids were going in.
Yeah.
You remember? Spins going in, he was like, oh my God!
I'm not going to lie, that's the only reason I got this microphone. That is the only reason I got this microphone for charity lives.
What funny is especially when we used to do last of the summer vapes, because I used to stand there, and we all really had potato internet, really. I think everybody did. What we were using was called Line. Which wasn't the most stable.
No, it weren't. It was VC.
VC, that were it, not Line.
It was VC. It was a doctor consultation. App, and it was shocking.
It was. We used to all have VC calls.
Quick answer to Hanky Panky. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Yes, I am expoing and so with Aiden. Me and Aiden are going, and we're coming back. We're going from Thursday to Sunday. I think.
We're staying till the Monday.
So, chaps, before we diverge into tonight's madness, Aiden, what are you vaping on?
To be honest with you, I'm not long got out of bed. I'm on one of them things where I want to sleep all the time. I'm absolutely cream crackered. So I'm just, and it's been like an all-time banger. which is Pasito Mini. I've loved this. It's been absolutely great. The 0.8 ohm coil in there, the P2, really, really good. And just my normal blades. That's it. That's all for me today. Over to you, Adam. What are you vaping on?
Yeah, fuck Sean. I'm on.
If you want. It's
to be
the first
fair,
proposition I've had in weeks, mate.
Touch your toes. Let's see what happens. I've got the Flexus Q, which literally, like you say, it's an all-day banger. It sort of sits in my pocket. It comes out when it feels like it. But I'm on that. B60, as per. B60 is never too far away from me. And if it is, do you know what? I don't know if you still get them mods every now and again where you go, fuck, where's that? And you're checking your pockets and checking everything else. That's my boost.
Just in the fold of your t-shirt like that.
Yeah, or just literally it slid into your bum crack. Just enough for you not to feel it.
I've not really got a bum crack. I've just got a crack in my back.
Like a Lego man.
Yeah.
And then because I got something new. I got given something new. I got the Dead Rabbit V2. Ooh. But I got it in white, right? Because the gaffer turned around to me and says, try one of these out. He went, try one of these out. So I went, all right. He just passed me a box, right? And in this box was an RDA. And I was like, it's a Dead Rabbit V2. Sound. And then it were white. And I've literally got no mods to sit a white RDA on.
Funny, it does look like somebody's, like when they were kids, they used to Tipex things.
It
looks
like it does.
Tipexed it.
The worst thing is it's like a pearlescent white. You can't really tell because of the light, but it's like a pearlescent white as well. But I've got that on top of the double barrel and a very, very dry wick, so I don't know why I've just vapped it.
What's the paintwork like on it?
It's really good, to be fair, but it is like a pearlescent white, so I've literally got no mods that it looks nice on. You know, when you try it, I got back, I was like, oh yeah, it's going to look right nice on something. No, I've got no.
Yeah, it's very hard with white, isn't it?
Yeah, but it vapes. Oh, do you know what? I love the Dead Rabbit. I love the Dead Rabbit SQ. And
SQ is one of the best single coilers, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Easy. And this is just the same. I've got the last bit of my Amatorium Manor in there. I'm quite sad.
Yeah, I've got a last little bit here.
But I've got that. And it's delightful. Other than that, I've got a hot chocolate and a glass of juice. What about you, Sean? What are you vaping on, sir?
I have the B100 kit because obviously I think I was saying on last show, Drag X Pro gave up the ghost and died. So I went and got this and I fucking love it. And do you know what it is? That has the same coil in it as last show.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they
I used to think
3 to 4 weeks, don't they?
Honestly, Adam used to go on about this all the time about the longevity of them coils, right?
Yeah.
And I used to think, oh, fuck off, mate. You're talking shite.
No.
Right? Got that, mate. The fucking coils are unreal.
Do you know what? The thing with the Geek Vape coils is I can very easily go, oh, fuck, when did I change coil in that? You know, genuinely, you can go, oh, I've had that coil in for like a month.
Yeah.
And because the flavour doesn't drop, the only thing that I ever see when I've let coil go a little bit too far is round the edge of the pod, it gets a little tiny bit seepy.
Yeah. You get a little bit of juice build up underneath.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all their coils from the PA all the way up, the really good coils.
Yeah, so in there I've got the last of me Ribery because I'm going over to Paradox from Shy Tots because she's done me some salts.
Nice.
In that, and it's fucking beaut. I am also on the heavy hitter from Times Vape with the Nightmare RDA on top. I'm on that there, and in there I have got some lemon meringue.
Oh,
love it.
He's got a brand new website out, ladies and gentlemen. Please get yourself over there. He's a show sponsor, so please get yourself over to his new site. And you can get yourself some merch as well.
And I am on the Pandemic Clutch with the Pandemic RDA on top. Nice. And in there, I have got some Paradox from Shy Tots.
I honestly, every time I hear Shy Tots, I always think shite hot.
Yeah.
Shite hot.
We said
Fucking
something
lovely
once.
juice.
And again, please get yourself over to Jane. She's a great sport. She's a fantastic UK mixer. Please get over to Jane. She's absolutely beautiful, Jane. I keep
But a
wanting to
couple
get
of
down.
people say in chat that you're a lot quieter than the other two.
Well, I am.
Yeah. You might have to turn your mic up on OBS.
I might have to. It's probably a good thing if I'm quieter than everybody else, to be honest. I'm dying to get onto Jane's rug as well.
That was
Neil, I've been quite lucky. I've never come up against a problem about long batteries.
I thought you were going to say something else. We've gone from being on Jane's rug to long things.
No. What's the problem with the batteries?
So double barrel, it's got it's actually got a really good hinge on the bottom.
Yeah.
But certain batteries, you know how an 18650 can be just ever so slightly longer than 18650? Like ever so slightly. Like some devices, you've got a little bit more push to get it in the device.
Yep.
Well, with that door, if it's not sat on right, it'll every now and again fling open. And if you're using batteries that have got like even 0.5 millimeter too long, it'll ping it.
Right.
So
I've got a mess on my nipples.
That's what it'll do.
Is that better, people? Am I a little bit louder now? I'm probably too loud.
Liam, we're hoping Vic May is just tying up a few loose ends. By loose ends, we mean his trainers. He's sat doing his shoes.
Well, apparently he's had that new pair of trainers for quite a while, but he's never seen them.
Yeah. But hopefully,
just have a listen to this.
All right. He's sharing. It's a voice message.
No, I was just listening to the volume. I was just listening to the volume on the stream there.
Well,
I don't
thank you
think
very
it
much,
sounds...
Scott Brown. We do try and put a little bit of the show into it, son. So we're doing his best. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I can see all what you're putting in there. Vic will answer any questions if he does come tonight. If he doesn't, I'm sure he will be here next week. Only thing you can do as supporters of Vic is keep supporting him. That's all that we ask that you do for him. He's a lovely bloke and he's doing his best.
Give him a bit of love.
Yeah, and that's it. That's what we just show you support. Like the stream, share the stream, and all that fun stuff. Because do you know what? It does help his channel, and that's what we're all about. That's why we're doing it here. We're hoping that he will pop in and see us. Obviously, he's not been feeling too great, the operation and things like that. So, fingers crossed, we'll see him. So much love. Let's see some hearts in chat. For Vic.
He's a lovely bloke, doing well.
Yeah.
Right then, did you say that you did some dad's jokes or something?
Yeah, do you know what? They're right. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different. This week's show was all designed to be a bit of a laugh and a giggle. We're all feeling a little bit tired. I think we're hitting that sort of... We've just got over Christmas. We've just got over the beginning of the year. So everything, all the new bits rushed off. And now we're getting a little bit like... We're on that build up to summer now. So we're in that other arsehole of the year.
Arsehole?
Yeah, so there's a couple of arseholes in the year. So one is the gooch, and that's between Christmas and New Year. Because you don't quite know what it is or what it's about, but it's there. Right? And right now, we're in that sort of armpit, knee pit kind of part of the year where you're just waiting for summer. We've had a couple of days of nice weather and a couple of days of rain. You don't quite know what it's doing. But I thought we need a little bit of a pick-me-up. So what I did, and there's still time, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself over to the UK Vape Show group. Instead of doing a bag this evening, what we did is open the dad jokes, right? Because I do you know what? I love a dad joke. Sometimes dad jokes are the best. And it is one of them that I do prefer, like, the worst. I do prefer the worst. So, ladies and gentlemen, and you two can rate these for a cookie, right?
For a cookie?
For a cookie.
All right.
Just 2 seconds. I need to get this on out before we do out. Simple Vape IL, which is Toma. He wanted me to say this last night on the Three Men and a Vape show. Happy Passover to all the Jewish people in Israel and the UK and all over the world.
All over the
Just hold on, ladies and gentlemen, before we start the dad jokes. I can hear him, ladies and gentlemen, all the way. He's on his way, ladies and gentlemen. I can hear it. It's like Christmas all over again. Yeah, it is. It is. Hey!
Just in time.
Oh,
Look
fucking
at that.
cool.
Just in time for some grand old dad jokes.
Right, everybody, put it around the internet that he's on here because now they might all turn fucking up.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, buddy.
How's everybody doing?
Cheers.
Danny?
I'm on the proper stuff.
Yeah, I'm on a tall glass of juice. Cheers.
I have Vimto.
I'm
Do you
on
actually
tea.
have Vimto?
No, it's red
Oh.
wine.
He's
I'm
on
not
the
a Vimto.
vino.
I'm on fucking double concentrate and all fucking hard stuff. So cracking time. Right. So I've got to zoom this because I'm old.
Some dad jokes. Yes.
Dad jokes. That is the dad jokey bit. Do you know what when you get that old that you have to just I've got 110% on my Google Chrome now. So
Don't talk
be
to
ready
me
for
about old. I'm wearing varifocals now. That's how fucking old I am.
there's no wrong with them.
You
Have
still
you
look
gone to the
beautiful,
toilet
Vic.
with him?
Listen, I'm at that age where I refuse to wear my glasses still. But it's fucking me up massively.
I had a pair of them. I went to the toilet. I could see a little one and a big one. I knew the big one wasn't mine, so I put it away.
Dad
The
jokes.
big one's rarely yours, though, isn't
It
it?
is. That's certain photographers.
Right. Are you ready? You've got to judge these for a cookie. Bill Richards with the first one.
You do realise me and Vic's got diabetes, don't you?
All right. A fucking rice cake.
It's all right. Vic's had his allowance as well with his dolly mixture. Did you finish the bag?
Oh yeah, fuck that bag's gone.
Fucking knew it.
What? There's not even any licorice left.
No, it's all gone.
Oh, there's normally licorice.
Well, I love the licorice bits.
Sorry, Adam. I've interrupted you.
I
Six
said, no,
times
don't
now.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Fucking LEDs.
Pretentious.
A man runs. I've got to read now. A man runs into a roadside calf yelling, "Help, help! I need to know how big a penguin is." A waitress indicates about 2 feet from the floor. The man goes, "Oh shit, I think I've just run over a nun." It's got another one. It's got multis. And the penguin based. A penguin driving down the road suddenly sees a plumes of smoke and hears a loud clunking noise. So he pulls over into the nearest garage. A mechanic says, "Give me an hour and I will see what the problem is." The penguin thinks, "Fuck me eyes."
That's why you should wear fucking glasses.
I know.
Bifocal ones.
The penguin thinks, "Well, it's a nice day. I'll go for a walk." He comes across an ice cream stand and so buys himself one for the walk back. When he arrives, the mechanic says, "You've blown a seal." The penguin panics and wiping his beak says, "No, I've had an ice cream."
Fuck's sake.
Oh, that were a sneaker. That were a little sneaker, that one.
Happy
Happy birthday to
Gareth.
Free Rider.
Yeah.
That were a sneaker, that. I like
I
that
read
one.
it was 2 today, but it says today.
All right.
Liz
Like
Campbell.
Big.
Adam, do you want a magnifying glass, son?
Fucking mate, I'm going 120 in a minute. Potato walks into a bar and asks for a drink. The bartender shakes his head, saying, "Sorry, we don't serve food." Man walks into a bar. Man goes in a bar. There was a time when he used to get beer and nuts. If you lose your sock in the dryer, it returns as a Tupperware lid that doesn't fit any of the containers. They're from the wonderful
true.
Craig Welsh.
That
It's
explains
zero.
a few things.
That is way true, that, isn't it?
Graham Miller writes in, speaking of which, "Daddy, why am I running around in circles?" Daddy shouts, "Shut up or I'll nail your other foot at foot."
Your other foot to the floor.
That's what I tried to say.
The
I'll tell you
nightmare
what,
when
you
you
don't
nail your
stand
floor to
Bowman, are
the
you?
foot.
I'm just looking at first and last letters. That's all it is. Colin Wilson's wrote in. Apple have announced they're designing an all-new iCar, but it will never be legal on Britain's road. It's got no windows. Oh, tech.
Oh,
based.
right. That just clicked in there. Right.
Ah, it's
Now
tech-
I get it. Now I get it.
Tech-based. Tech-based, that one. Oh, fucking hell. I always shit my pants because I see William Dobson writes in and I'm like, fuck, this is going to be massive and I ain't got my glasses on. But it's not. Out here in the darkest reaches of my known universe on planet Fluff, we have no concept on what or who this is. But after much discussion, we are wondering if it's something to do with a small Scottish person. If so, you can ask Vic.
Whoa.
I'm just reading.
So was that like an innuendo to Nicky staging because her husband's nicked all that money?
Oof, political.
Well, you never know. She's
Well,
probably off to
I feel
Epstein's
like that
fucking-
should have had
they're
a
gonna buy his,
picture with it.
island.
Yeah. Martin Saunders writes in, how did Pikachu get the old people on the bus? He poked him on.
No. No. No.
What do you call a masturbating cow? Beef stroking off.
Beef
Should we take a
stroking
quick
off,
pause
not
and
beach.
ask Vic what he's vaping on tonight?
What's
Go
that
for
got
it.
to do with a masturbating cow?
Yeah. It just reminded me of Vic. I don't know why.
A masturbating cow reminded you of Vic?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you what I remind you of.
Beef stroking off.
Beef stroking off. It's the usual setup, the dove pole, whatever, with the SLV. Although, see, the paint's starting to come off. Although I have had this for about 3 months now, so
You must scratch them.
right
You must
there,
have
see it, right there.
acidic palms.
The SL, not the SL, the G Class 2's holding up very well though. Not a scratch on it. Look at that. Even the back.
Because it's like Trigger's brush.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking exactly the same thing.
Mike Vape's tank, can't remember the fucking name of it, and a subscriber, because usually I had I'm doped up in fucking tramadol right now. What's the name of the fucking tank? The VS Dual, right? Because usually I had the VS Dual on this, and a subscriber went, Vic, that doesn't look good. So he sent me this little thing. Look at that.
Oh, that's neat.
That's tidy, isn't it?
That is the Tesla. Anyone remember Tesla SIGs?
Yeah.
Are they even around? That's the Tesla SIG Stealth Mini with the VS Dual in it, and that's a fucking cracking little setup.
I have to be honest, that looks 10 times better than what it did before.
Yeah.
Because it looked stupid sitting on top of
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Look at that.
Well,
That is-
if you remember, I think it was probably about a year or so back, there was actually going to start releasing some mods, and a lady got in touch with a lot of us reviewers, didn't she?
and then they
Tesla.
vanished again.
And then just vanished.
Yeah, they vanished again.
Tesla bring back good memories for me. I have a very, very good video of Chris Empire Vape Co. Right, when he was Empire Vape Co. back in the day, right, and we were stood at the SMKD stand.
We just got all them jamming boxes.
We had just got them jamming picnic baskets.
Yeah,
And
picnic baskets.
we were talking to them at there, and they passed us. If you remember the steampunk edition, the first steampunk edition that Tesla did with the see-through sides,
Yeah.
and they passed it
See-through
open.
sides?
We'd all had a quick look at it, right? And I broke the GoPro out at the time, and I held it right in front of Chris. And while I've got it in front of Chris, it had the slide bottom. If you remember, it had the bottom that just slides out. Chris must have stood there for 10 minutes
Trying to put the door on.
trying to put the bottom door on.
And what it was is you had to go so far down the run to then slide it across. And he couldn't work it out for love nor money, and he was there, and everybody was just laughing, and it actually sort of created a crowd back of us, because we were laughing. And then eventually, when he did put it on, everybody just gave him a round of applause, didn't they?
Good memories about Tesla.
They were really good mods and nice looking as well, weren't they? All that steampunk, had all the cogs and everything in it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, the steampunk stuff was good.
But they haven't released anything for ages, have they?
No, they haven't.
That one.
Yeah,
it wasn't that one. It was the one with the glass panels on the outside.
And it actually had the cogs inside of it.
Yeah.
He's probably got it in that case.
Yeah.
You tell it's getting a bit sunnier.
Yeah.
Sun's out in Scotland.
Sun's out, pins out.
But what about SA? I haven't seen anything from them. SMKD. I haven't seen anything from them.
SMKD. I wouldn't say folded. They changed to. I'm sure they got bought out by UK Vapor Brands or someone like that.
Because they used to be really big, didn't they?
No, must
they
be.
did that Heroes line though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which like Spider-Man, Superman, all that. I actually reviewed them as well.
Yeah, they were about 15 different flavors in it, weren't they? But yeah, it was there was some really, 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 really nice stuff, Tesla, back in day.
There's a lot of them companies, again, we talk about it all the time, about expos that have disappeared, that aren't there anymore, which you used to love to go and see what were coming out and what they had.
Yeah. Archery.
Have you seen that on Facebook? EH Pro, or somebody pretending to be EH Pro, selling batteries.
Batteries?
I know.
Yeah, there's a lady, it's like Sierra, her name or something like that. She could be a Ford Escort for all I know, but it's Sierra. It's got EH Pro on it, and it's EH Pro batteries. So I wonder, do you think they've maybe found a bulk set of batteries that they used to have and they're now trying to sell
they've rewrapped?
Yeah, that they've rewrapped basically and stuck their name on it.
Yeah,
I was actually
from them. And
talking about batteries.
From them, the bust.
I'm going to say, talking about batteries, that's another thing that used to go about at Expo. If you remember, we used to see a million fucking battery companies all claiming to have stupendously high amp rating. I actually remember your mark kicking off at a company. I think it was actually Triple X. If anyone remembers Triple X 18650s.
Don't remember them.
It were a white battery wrap with red X's on it.
Yeah, like it with the mint.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've tried to say that there was something like 55 amp. And your mark's going, it can't be. It can't be. But at the time, I think we were seeing between 25 and 35 amp draw. And Mark's going, you're just lying to people. You're just lying to people. You're going to kill someone. And this woman, poor woman, didn't understand a word of English.
No, she didn't. What MAR is it? They didn't know what the MAR meant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck.
I remember us getting a set of we were obviously, when we were first starting out reviewing and stuff, you used to go around to them and you'd pass them your card, say, hey, look, I'm a reviewer, and they'd check your channel out, and if they're interested, then you'd either talk after the expo or while you're there. But I remember us all coming away with a set of batteries, and it was like, I don't know really how to review these. I'm no battery mooch, so I can only tell you how they actually work in the mod, and do they actually charge up okay and discharge okay, but I can't tell you any more about it.
Yeah.
It was like when the eFan got in touch and I did the review for the battery charger. I can't really tell you anymore. Does it charge them up? Yes, it does.
Okay.
Have you ever been asked to do any battery reviews, Vape?
Couple of times, but I usually turn them down. You can't, unless you're mooch, you can't really do a battery review. It's not right. It's got to be mooch that does it.
I've seen a lot of people in the past try and do battery videos. Even Vaping Biker even tried to do like full voltage drop on mechs a million years ago, if you remember.
Yeah.
And like, you've got to think that even the hobbyist vapor, as long as we know that battery is safe to use in just about anything that we can use it in, I'm not bothered about voltage drop. I'm not bothered about anything along those lines. I want to know that I'm going to get a good lifespan out of the battery. I'm going to get a good day's use out of it. And when I say a day, I mean a working day, but a good day's use out of it. But
you bought a load of them all together, didn't you, Vic? Were it Mollusk you bought from
Molly cells.
Fogstar, wasn't it?
Yeah, though.
And now they must be what, a good over a year old.
Oh God, they're about 2 years old now.
And I've got batteries that I'm still using. Some of them are, like when one goes, I'll take it down to what I'm going to use in a single mod, and do the battery wrap towards that. But I've got stuff that's way older than 2 years that I'm still using. They're safe to use. And there's nothing coming out of them. I have had batteries where, when it start going a bit brown, so I'm going to throw that away.
I always say, like, obviously, if you're using external battery chargers, then a battery is absolutely safe. I mean, you're fully discharging it and fully charging it safely.
Yeah.
And you're keeping a good life cycle in it. I always say to people when they come into the shop and they're like, I charge my batteries through my device. Well, they never get a full true charge. They never get a full true charge. The way that the battery regulation works in a lot of chips is it'll cut it off before it's a full charge. So you're depleting it by sort of minute margins, but you're depleting it constantly. And that's when you start to have your problems. I for one, as soon as I got a battery charger, I charge everything externally.
I think if we go back to, like, say, 2016, 2017, and maybe 18 as well, the mods wasn't as good as what they are nowadays.
Oh, no.
So for the charging sort of side of things, you look at Geek Vape and things like that. I think the charging's a lot better than what it was.
The only batteries I've ever had an issue with, right, that was shit, and they just didn't last at all like anything else, was the iJoy ones that came with the fucking Captain.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. The iJoy batteries. Yeah.
The original 2700s that they did.
Yeah, they came with. I don't know if they came with all the iJoy Captains. So there was an offer on when I bought the iJoy Captain, and it had 2 batteries with it. 2 iJoy. Is that the iJoy ones? Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, that's the ones that were fucking horrible.
No, that's not them. The ones that I got had iJoy written all up the side of it.
Yeah. I know which one you're on about. It were black and yellow, but it had a big iJoy down the side.
Yeah. They're the only ones that I thought were a bit shit. I've never really had any problems with any of the batteries.
Do you think batteries should come with mods? Should come with batteries?
Nah.
Do you know what? No, because working in a vape shop, that's the opportunity that we get to actually give someone battery safety. If you send someone off with a box mod with 2 batteries in there and go, everything's in box, you don't need anything else, they can go home and mess their life up. Even if they do it minorly. I had an electrician walk in today with a fucking 18650 in his pocket. And I turned around to him and I went, you ain't got anything else in your pocket. And I didn't even know we were an electrician at the time. I went, you haven't got anything else in your pocket? He went, no. He says, I'm an electrician. I kind of know what I'm doing.
That's great, isn't it? Can you imagine you turning up to your house going, look, I'm just going out to rewire your entire house. I kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you need in your life, isn't it?
And he comes in the house with a handsaw.
Yeah. I've never seen
turned around to
anybody
him, I went,
wire like that. Did anybody see the? I don't know which country it's in. It's just about to do its rounds, and I'm near enough certain that somebody's left an 18650 in the pocket and put it in a tumble dryer. And it's took half the shop front off.
Yeah.
What a pillock. Wow.
Or it was a mobile phone.
Yeah, it's one of them two for the amount of explosion it is. Now. I've been giving my mate some devices, right? His name's Johnny Morgan. So if you're watching Johnny Morgan, he's a singer, really lovely bloke, really funny as hell. So he says, I can't remember which device I give him. I think it was some device. I can't remember what it was. He went, oh, it stopped working now. That I went, why has it stopped working? I've still got these mods and they're all working fine. How comes yours stopped working? I said, how do you charge your mods? He charges them with his phone charger.
Oh dear.
So a lot of modern day kits will accept a 2 amp charge, right? But the older kits won't at all, like in the slightest.
Yeah, but a lot of mobile phones nowadays aren't 2 amp. They're all these fast chargers with
3 amp.
Like 5,000.
This is why people have to be really careful plugging the mods straight into the walls, in the wall sockets, because they're all 3 amp. Them.
Yeah.
The actual USB sockets.
Yeah.
They're 3 amp. So you should really be careful. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that you plug it in, it's gonna go boom, but you shouldn't really be doing it. Like,
no, you shouldn't.
But it's like with the kids with swapping chargers with mobile phones. Like Lou's phone, I think, is like a 2500 mAh one, But then Fane's got a 5,000 mAh fast charge, and you can't swap over the actual charges because it expands the battery, and then they go, it's working really slow, this phone. Well, why do you think if it's all expanded, the CPU on it, it's just the amount of time.
You just blinded me with science there, Aiden. I thought we were on Star Trek.
Oh, I'll tell you what, a lot of people have been moaning about that Picard, but I'm loving that at the minute. It's taking me back to the old Next Generation.
I had an absolute geekgasm. I don't know, and I don't want to cause any spoilers, but if you're watching The Mandalorian, so the new episode came out yesterday, and the cameos in this one, I literally went, oh, he's in it. Oh, he's in it. Oh, he's in it. Oh, she's in it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. To say that we spent all this time saying the Mandalorian can't take his fucking helmet off, he's had his helmet off quite a bit, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. And the worst thing is, if anyone's watching The Mandalorian, right, this is no spoiler, right? We all know that he's going...
It's a spoiler for me, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
He, obviously, right, he wears his helmet, he takes his helmet off, it's a big thing, right? He takes his helmet off in Season 2, it's a big thing. He does it to Grogu. It's a cute moment of bonding, right? But then he has to rectify his whole life by taking the creed again and putting his helmet back on. They put all this big thing in, and fucking Bo-Katan just goes, it don't matter. I can walk both paths.
Do you know what? In the times that we live in and what you can actually do in video editing, why the fuck does that little thing look like Kermit the Frog?
Because it's real. It's real. So it's not video editing. It's a real puppet.
Exactly. It looks like a puppet.
It's a puppet.
It's a puppet. It looks like a puppet. It moves like a
That's
puppet.
getting clipped up. Love it.
It looks like Gordon the Gopher's sister.
Do you know what, right?
And you've got Andy Peters up here.
Well, the thing is, though, it worked because I bought into all the fucking hype and marketing. Look, fucking that's the second one I've fucking bought. Used to be Doctor Who ones up there.
We're going to have to get him an helmet, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody sees him at Expo, please, if you've got an helmet, bring it.
I can give him a helmet.
The
if
thing
he comes
is,
to Expo, I can give him a helmet.
if you watch Hot Ones, right? I adore Hot Ones. Pedro Pascal was on Hot Ones, and he was talking about Grogu, the puppet, right? And he goes, I hate him. He says he overacts, and he's just, everyone loves him. And he goes, sometimes you'll be doing a scene, and you'll just look down at this puppet, and you'll be like, I hate you.
What a fucking part he plays in that The Last of Us.
No spoilers. I've still got the last 2 episodes.
I haven't. I'm not going to spoil it. What a fucking
I know what happens
series
because I played the game.
See, I hadn't played the game before I watched the series. I've just got the game for the PC, which I'm going to be playing on my stream.
Well, it's your type of game, innit? It's one of them walkthrough ones.
Yeah. Fuck off. Them automatic ones that just do it all themselves.
Automatic ones where you only play half of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say don't play part 2.
Why is it shit?
Yeah, it is.
It's controversial, right? It's controversial.
No, it's just shit. The second part, it's shit.
It could be really good. It could have been really good.
Could have been.
But let's put it this way. Just don't play it. They absolutely destroyed an entire franchise in one game.
I probably will play it. Just to see what it's like. But and like I say, if it's shit, I'll just fucking turn it off and go on something else.
They ruin a franchise in one. And I've just read someone saying about it will be interesting to see the remake of Harry Potter being an HBO show. It's too early to reboot Harry Potter.
You can't do that.
It's far too early to reboot Harry Potter.
Of course it is.
It's not time yet. That should be something in about 10 years' time.
No, I don't think you should ever reboot Harry Potter. It was like when they did.
How long ago was the last film released?
Not that long ago.
It was probably 2012.
12 or something like that. It went about 10 years ago, man.
The problem is it's so.
I'll tell you. I'll just Stevie Wonder and I'll tell you.
It was so loved. It was so loved, the Harry Potter film franchise, that they're going to ruin it by stretching it out over about 24 seasons to get to where they get to in the films.
Do you know what I don't want them to do either? I don't want them to make a remake of Back to the
2011.
Future either. It's like Back to the Future is Back to the Future. You can't make a remake of it. I don't care who you're ever going to get.
See, I didn't understand how they could make a musical of that. They did a musical, and I've actually seen it, and I've seen the way I've seen a recording of it.
Well, it's like Matilda.
It's actually quite good.
I love Matilda, the musical. That was really good. I'm a little bit naughty.
I went to see Matilda, the musical, before it obviously got made into a film, and it's really good. It is really good. But the thing with the Harry Potter films is they're going to turn it into a TV show, and they're just going to extend everything. It's going to be like Riverdale and all these other shows that they try and make edgy and teen like.
Yeah, they're going to drag it out.
Absolutely. Harry Potter there, we have Vape. I don't need me wand. I've got unicorn shake. You fucking muggle.
There's a Goonies sequel in the works.
Oh, yes, please.
Imagine that if they get all the original guys back.
Well, they're dead, aren't they?
No, they're not.
No, Data's still alive. Corey Feldman's still alive. Josh Brolin's still alive. Sean Astin's still alive.
I was reading the wrong one. I thought it said Ghostbusters.
Wait, Ghostbusters has just been done.
Oh, the sequel's coming out. They've just signed.
There's only Harold Ramis dead, and they did a. I've got to be honest, it was an epic.
They did, yeah.
Oh, it was an epic nod to him in that film.
It was a lot better than the women's one.
I cried my eyes out. I'm not even joking. I cried my eyes out.
The worst thing about that is Ivan Reitman died just after they'd made the film. So the original director of the Ghostbusters franchise came back because his son, Jason Reitman, was the guy who directed Afterlife. And Ivan was there all the way through it, and he died after. So it was like he'd completed his life's work and then went and romantic.
Apparently, Beetlejuice isn't coming out too. I've been looking at that, and apparently it's not. They're not going to do another one. It's been said because you get all these where people do like we're going to have like a Back to the Future 4, and we're going to have that, and it's apparently it's not. Apparently, they're not doing another one.
I did enjoy there's a deep fake going around of Robert Downey Jr. as Doc Brown and Tom Holland as Marty McFly.
Ooh.
And I do appreciate that. That looks really cool. But then the idea of them remaking it is like spitting on the grave.
If you're going to do it, you've got to bring. I know he's poorly. I know he's really poorly. But Michael J. Fox has got to be in a part of it, and so has Doc. Whether it's the fact that they're sat there as an old sort of themselves, and it's them who then takes the adventure on. And then they could maybe come out with another 5 or 6 of them. But they've got
Christopher Lloyd is 84
They've got to pass
years
the button,
old.
haven't they?
Yeah, and do it.
Got to pass the button.
So
unless you're BFG, who doesn't even like, I've never seen him.
Really?
That's right. Yep.
No, he's seen him. He thinks they're shit.
Do you know what? It's been trailer time over the last couple of days as well. We've had the Into the Spider-Verse trailer, which looks really good. We've had
that's Into the Spider-Verse too, isn't it?
Yeah. We've had the Blue Beetle trailer with Sholo from Cobra Kai. You know Miguel.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to be in it. It looks really good. But one trailer that's really, really threw me off, and I really wish I didn't watch it, but I did, was the Barbie trailer. So Margot Robbie is playing.
Where the fuck did this go?
We went on movies, didn't we? So
we're trying to keep this cool and hip and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but listen, there's a joke in this trailer about beaching someone up.
Aiden, cut the stream. The stream.
Son. What's that behind you? Me Barbie and Ken.
Hey, I were like, what the fuck is this? So they're doing a Barbie film.
Yeah.
And it's got Ryan Gosling as... You've seen it?
No, I've seen the trailer.
The beaching off bit, right? I'm watching it. I watched this guy called 3C Films on YouTube. He's really, really good. He does like movie news and stuff like that. And he was talking about this joke in this Barbie trailer, and I was like, that's one way to get me to watch it, innit? So I sat there and I watched the trailer, and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to beat you off. Pardon? And then it goes.
To be honest with you, I never really forgive Barbie because she changed my entire sex life. Because when I was a kid, I was thinking, when the first time I went down on a woman, I thought, oh my God, they didn't look like this. I was thinking you're going to look like Duncan Goodhue. It doesn't look like that now.
Looks like a pack of ham.
I'm not being funny. You need to take that back. It's got a 4-inch gash in it.
Have you been hit with an axe?
Oh, Bath Plus, we do not need a new Spaceballs.
Spaceballs are really good.
Spaceballs is incredible. That's an untouchable. You can't go out there and redo any Mel Brooks film because, one, they're incredibly insensitive in today's day and age.
I watched a bit of Robin Williams the other week, and that made me laugh and all. I'm sorry for being crude to people as well. I know this is a little bit crude, but he did that sketch about how it must look like for women when men go down on them, right? So he sat there and he's going.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
You know what it is? If there was ever a bloke, right, that I could go back in time and have a meal with, it'd be him.
Yeah.
Fucking honest, what a guy he was.
Just have like an hour's run with him. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Just so funny. I were in stitches when he were doing the whole sketch of it. Louise is in stitches. It was just brilliant.
For him, I would like. So let's do a little like round table. Round table. We're having a meal, right? We can all pick one person, and we've got a token guy, which is Robin Williams. Robin Williams is already there. He's with us for, right? You can pick one person who you'd like to be there. Anyone, dead, alive, anything else.
So we've obviously got Robin Williams is already there.
Yeah, he's with us. He's just automatically there because I know you two would fall out about having him after we've just spoke about that. So, and I'm trying to stop the fight.
You can imagine it, me and Aidan coming in. I want to sit next to Robin. No, I'm going to sit next to him.
Whole thing with Vic will be saying like that. Are you going to finish that? Sat down there having Robin Williams' pudding. You don't really need it, do you, son? Come on.
Yeah, I'll have that.
I'll have that. Who would have sat there? Somebody just said about Morgan Freeman. No, we'd have him as the master of ceremonies.
Yes.
Brilliant when he like introduces everybody in.
Billy Connolly.
He's got the best voice in the world.
Billy Connolly, yeah.
I would have Billy Connolly there.
And he was best mates with Robin Williams.
He was yes.
Actually, yeah.
Billy Connolly
Best
is...
mates.
I would like to say underrated as a comedian, but he wasn't. He was very, but he's not very well remembered as a comedian. He was a lot. Don't forget, we talk to a lot of younger people now, and like they don't know who all these people are. But you said someone exactly earlier on, Brian Connolly. I used to love the Brian Connolly show on Saturday.
Well. I'll tell you, Whoopi Goldberg. She'll be good.
I would have Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Oh, I always think he's false.
Do you know what? There's a lot of videos about Jim Carrey doing the rounds at the minute on the internet about how real he is, about how he's turning up to these award ceremonies. He's walking up and he's going, "I was trying to look for something pointless to do tonight, and this is pointless. This is all meaningless. But we get invited here, we get free food and free drink. So why would I turn it down?"
That's a great one. Vaping Heat, Richard Pryor. What a man.
Right.
I read his autobiography
Gene Wilder
and what he went through, and obviously his addictions that he had were just not very
I'll tell you another
good.
one who would be good, who would be quite funny, right? Because he was quite a funny bloke. I mean, it's not like, wasn't Spike Milligan.
Oh, he was fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
somebody who
Spike
buys
Milligan.
his own nut house and puts himself in there.
He was fucking brilliant. That when I can't remember what award it was he got. He got an award presented from, it was supposed to be from Prince when Charles was Prince back in the day. And fucking he proper big-headed bastard.
Well, he were actually in the army with Harry Seacombe, who did Songs of Praise. And Harry Seacombe said he's one of the most funniest people he's ever met in his life, but very erratic. Apparently, he was a gunner.
Oh, good shout, Pasty.
And it
Ronnie
was,
Barker.
Yes.
Harry Seacombe was a cook. And they were together. He says some of the stuff he got up to was just amazing.
Oh, there's Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper.
Yeah.
You've got like the older comedians, Ronnie Barker and
David Jason.
Two Ronnies. Yeah. You've got.
I'm mentally preparing myself for David Jason dying. That's like, I don't do that for anyone. David Jason, when David Jason goes, fuck having work, I'm like having a week off.
I think I'll be a bit the same with Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
Rowan Atkinson, like, I grew up on fucking Blackadder.
That fucker's got 9 lives and all. He's got 9 lives. He's crashed his car. He's like Richard Hammond. He's wiped himself out more times, Rowan Atkinson.
Parkinson.
I'll tell you one thing, that's another good person that would be classed around the table is Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh, I love Clarkson as well.
Who would you have, Vic? Apart from Nicola Sturgeon.
I was thinking the same thing.
I was watching the news today. Apparently, 8 more coppers went into their house, and at the time there was already coppers in there. 20 police officers raiding Sturgeon's house.
What, did she have hostages or something?
You know what? When they started putting blue tarp outside, I thought fuck, Nicola Sturgeon's been murdered by her husband.
20 police officers in there. Who would I have? See, all the good ones have been taken. I'm trying to think back of all the classic ones.
Morecambe and
You know,
Wise.
saying that about Nicky Sturgeon. There'd be like that. What was his name? It was that really big hairdresser in the 90s. What was it? Nicky Clark.
Nicky Clark.
Yeah.
Or
She
Lawrence
sat down there,
Llewellyn.
they found him. Look what he did to my hair in the 90s.
I love that there, Martin Saunders, Grace. I've made purest green. Behold, Edmund. It's a goblet of purest green. Oh, man, I fucking love Blackadder me. They don't make comedy like that now.
I was fortunate enough to go to the Millennium Dome when they were showing Blackadder Goes Forth. You know, when they did the special when the Millennium Dome first opened. I went on a school trip. One. Yeah. I went on a school trip and they shown it on the big...
sixth form.
I left school in 2001.
Was you in sixth form, though?
I went on a school trip. I went on a school trip to the Millennium Dome as well.
Kenny Everett.
Oh, yes.
Kenny Everett.
Oh, yes.
See, again, if you talk about them sort of 80s comics, I always feel very, very sorry for Freddie Starr. He obviously got pulled into this Operation U-Tree, and it ended up that he hadn't done what they said that he'd done, and then he tried to take it to court, and they wouldn't. Anyway, he split up from his wife. I actually know his ex-wife pretty well. And he ended up going to Spain, lived as a recluse, and then obviously died of it. But he was a very, very funny man in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, Frankie Howard. The whole Carry On Gang. The whole Carry On Gang.
Up Pompeii. Fucking love that show. Yeah. Up Pompeii.
Infamy.
They all have it. Infamy.
Sid James's laugh is just iconic as well.
Again, this is another thing about how life has changed. Innuendo, which sort of like went over children's head, but you could still have it on daytime television because they wouldn't get it. You didn't have to
the
F,
adults
you
did.
didn't have to swear. You could just sort of have it in there with a little bit of, what's the word for it? It's,
tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
oh my
God, there's
Connor.
another thing in there, another word for it, where they do, it's like sexual innuendo, but you know what I mean, that's all way. They did it and it was harmless.
That is another class shout from Connor Smith.
Chester
Bennington.
Chester, right. Yep.
Victoria Wood,
absolutely brilliant. Another one there, Rick Mayo and Edmondson.
The live stand-up stuff that she done was fucking
Victoria Wood was incredible. A very intelligent comedian.
She went
because that's what they were back then.
Magician, what was his name? He was right, a weird bloke and all.
Paul Daniels.
No.
Oh, that's magic.
That's magic. No, what were his name? Who she went to? The Great Sharendo or something? Or right, chubby bloke with a small tash.
Do you know what? There's another one as well. Carolina Hearn.
Right, because she died really young.
She did, yeah.
Dude,
Caroline
it's in the
Hearn.
box. I keep forgetting.
The royal family at Christmas. Me and Jackie watched the royal family Christmas special where she gave birth. You know, when she's sat in the bathroom and Jim walks up and puts his arm round her while they sat at the bottom of the bath. The emotions in that scene, you're like,
That was good.
Jim Royal,
She was classed as Miss Merton as well,
Miss
though. Can you
Merton.
remember her?
Yeah, yeah.
She was mint.
Yes.
What was her name again?
Carolina Hearn.
Yeah.
She died. Yeah, she had she suffered from mental illness really bad, and she had a lot of electrolysis.
Yeah.
I used to like Gimme as well.
To try and reset herself.
She was brilliant.
Sarah Milligan, I think she's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Mackham, though. Bless her.
All right, don't be fucking racist.
It's not her fault.
She's a proper one, at least she's not a wish one.
You can't.
Anton Deck, but you can't bring both on him. You have to pick your favourite.
You can't, it's half and half, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got both the fucking foreheads.
Fucking hell. That was vicious, mate.
Other Sean, cracking shout, Sean Locke.
Still say till Monday.
Oh, fucking hell. More and more of that shit will be going home on Saturday afternoon. Or I will, and
I'm
you
not eating
won't
the
be.
pot noodle, you're alright.
Or I will, and you won't be.
Yeah, Sarah Milligan, I absolutely love Sarah Milligan.
Hey, is that Lou? Is that Lou? Yeah. Lou Aiden's missus. Yeah. Oh, it's just Sean. I took Aiden down to Expo. You might have to organise him a taxi because he's a knobhead and I've left him there.
What do you think I've always had to get a fucking train on my own?
Oh, Bo Selector. Lee Francis, his name is.
Yeah.
Another very intelligent.
Keith fucking Lemon.
Yeah, he is he's another intelligent one. He went out there and took the piss out of everyone properly.
That actually started on fucking Big Brother.
Did you?
With Avid Merriam.
Avid Merriam, aye.
Yeah.
And he was hilarious, him, because he when they first started Bo Selector, he had Craig off Big Brother locked up in his cupboard, didn't he? Can you remember?
But the thing about it, though, is that to apologise for a lot of the acts.
He had to apologise to Craig David. So Craig David kicked off because he said he ruined his whole career.
Yeah, about 10 years later.
Yeah. But the guy, so Keith Lemon, if you remember, Bo Selector birthed Keith Lemon. Keith Lemon was a Securapole salesman. That's how Keith Lemon started off. It was a
Securapole.
So basically, you know the poles that rise in car parks.
Is that where if you get all excited and that you tuck it under your belt?
No, that's the bear.
Is that what that is? Secured pole.
That's the bear on Hampstead Heath. Do you know what? I used to love the Michael Jackass.
Just a question. Did we actually open any post bag?
No.
If anybody's got any questions, please get them in now. Let's do a little bit of vaping questions. We've got how to stop Spitback. Try to lower coil, more cotton, less cotton.
Don't rub it too hard.
Yeah. Flick it on curtain.
Vic?
More cotton. For Spitback,
I think lower coil as well.
I would say, what are we using? Are we using a tank? Are we using an RDA? Are we, because obviously
some RDAs are notorious for Spitback as well. The original Asgard, if you didn't get the coils in the bang on right place, you got a throat full of red hot juice.
Adjust your helmet distance.
Also, again, like I said, all depends what you're using. If you're going to use something like a Wasp Nano, something that's very small on the end, it is going to spit back to you. But again, you need to be bringing down your ohms. You need to be putting a bit more cotton in there, because normally it's the juice is actually burning on the coil, isn't it? It's sort of fizzing up.
Yeah.
So you've got to think like obviously.
Adam's still laughing.
Adjust helmet distance. It's got me. Absolutely got me.
Good answer though. Good answer.
Yeah. spacing coils can cause it. Do you know what? I've never ever spaced a coil. I hate spaced coils. I find, and this is personal preference. It's nothing. It's nothing. I can't say there's anything scientific behind it or anything like that. But spaced coils just don't seem to be hot enough or dense enough for me.
I don't know.
I think we're going to have to be careful what we're saying here because Antel's clipping everything. I don't think there's a sentence gone by where we hadn't had a sexual innuendo in there, and he's on it.
I've not used them that very often, spaced coils. But when I have done, I still think you're getting the heat.
Yeah, that's why I said there's no scientific behind it. It's just personal preference. If I've ever spaced a coil, I just find it's a little bit cooler and not as dense for me personally. But
I have a problem with wicking the cotton for RBA 520 on the pulse. Any help?
So, anything pulse wise, I found that you need to go really thin, right? But there's a weird balancing act when it comes down to the RBA sections and the pulse. So honestly, go really thin, but you have to. I've trimmed my cotton, so I'll make sure that I get enough cotton throughout the middle of the coil. But as it goes down into the channels, it's quite thin. So I do the dicky bow. I spread it out into a dicky bow and I trim the top sections off. I don't know about you, Vic.
I've never had a pulse.
I'm trying to remember if the RBA 520 was mesh or normal.
Yeah, if it's mesh, just fucking ram it full.
Yeah, if it's mesh, just get half a field of cotton, shove it in. That'll be you.
Yeah, you've got to make sure that's nice. I'm not quite sure because I've not had it either. But if it is, you need to make sure that it goes at an angle. And and it's packed in, and it goes at an angle, and it sits in just nicely at the bottom. And make sure it's just like frayed at the bottom, because if not, it's not going to take that juice in.
That's why I always dicky bow. So I pull it up into like dicky bow coming away from the coil, and then trim down the side. So you've got you've got a curved edge that sits down in the channel. Capillary action.
I know some people do like cotton bacon. I love this, and I'll tell everybody about it. It's from Vape Fly.
I'm Cotton Gods.
Cotton Clouds. And why I love it, it's 3 mil. It sits like that, and it pulls out like so. You can cut it half down, or if you need to double it up, you can do it. And
Did you just make Sis's sound effect noise then as well?
Yeah, he did.
I heard it.
What?
He went. He did like a scissor noise.
And it's cheap as chips. You get, I think it's about, I don't know how many meters. I think it's about 5 meters.
That is
inflation.
Cheap, not cotton.
I'm sure Aiden is selling for them. Positive.
I'll tell you what, it was something that I found. You know when you get cotton bacon, you get the other ones, you're ripping it all out, and then you're pulling it, and then it all
I've got to be honest, it is
and
a fucking brilliant idea. Like,
I just wanted something where I'm not wasting my cotton, and I can actually get what I want. So I usually use 3 mil anyway. So it's just chip, bang, pull it, and it fluffs up nicely. You've got none of them little bits of, like you get that. If you look at the fluffiness, look.
Oh, look at that fucking spring on.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Connor Smith comes in my Twitch quite often. Yes, you can clip that one, Antel. Yeah, he frequents my Twitch, and he was on about it the other day about cotton gods. When you open the pack, you take it out, and it comes out in big, massive clumps, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And it is a pain in the ass. Once you get used to using that and knowing how much to pull off and stuff like that, yes, you can clip that as well, Antel. Knowing how much to take out and all that kind of stuff, it kind of gets easier. But if you're struggling with that, I think that there is a brilliant idea.
You can't go wrong with Muji as well. And a lot of people are saying it in chat. Like Muji is the OG, the real OG. Like if you go back and watch a lot of Vic's older videos, he's pulling sheets of Muji out, and there were so many different ways to do Muji. You could have either pulled off both sides at sheet, one side at sheet, anything. But you can't go wrong. At least what were it? Rule of thumb, you used to cut double the size of the coil for your piece of cotton.
You was always a big pusher of Muji, weren't you, Vic? But I always felt that it degraded quite a lot after time. Like when I mean time, I'm on about days. you know, like you'd think you'd pack that coil enough, and it was just moving nicely. You know, when you've done it and you've moved it side to side, and then all of a sudden, a couple of days later, you think, fucking hell, that's not right. It's spitting, it's doing whatever else, and it's just sort of like meh.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't dense
I tell
enough,
you what, we have got some filthy-minded people in chat tonight. Dear me, everything we say is getting turned into something dirty or filthy.
But it just never sort of like, you felt that you'd done it really well, and then after a couple of days, it just seemed...
I thought you were going to give it that. Skiing.
The thing with Muji...
skiing, guys.
The thing with Muji is it's cheap. So
cheap as shit.
It's not shit, it's just cheap. So
cheap as shit.
Cheap as shit. Yeah, but you had to swap out your cotton a little bit more back then, because we were still running like pretty high temperature coils, like high wattage coils that were running at a high temperature, which meant that
like
cheap
35
cotton,
watts.
Yeah, but even 35 watts back then, we were like, fucking look at me. I remember going sub-ohm for the first time, going, oh no, 0.8 ohm coil, I'm gonna die.
If you watch some of Vic's early ones as well, I think you were on like 8 watts, weren't you, at one point?
Yeah.
When you were doing juice reviews on I Go L, it's like that, burning it in at 12 watts. Here we go.
Connor Smith, can anyone recommend a good sub-ohm tank that isn't the Z tanks from Geek Vape?
The iTank by Vaporesso.
I'd go the Valerian.
Yeah, I'd go with Valerian as well.
Valerian
or the Crown
3, the coils are absolutely fucking honking.
Is that
if you wanted some cloud, is that what he's wanting? Cloud?
Is that good or bad? Honking? I don't know if that's a good word or a bad word.
Yeah, it all depends which context you put it in. I don't mean that it smells.
That's what
I mean, thinking. It's quite big.
I was thinking, oh my God.
Like a big honker.
What the fuck?
They're absolutely ginormous, them Valerian coils.
Has someone farted in these?
Does anyone... Don't use them dual coil, they stink.
I think that is the Valerian. Is that a Valerian coil?
Yeah, that's a Valerian coil.
Yeah.
See, look how big that is. That's absolutely huge.
It's honking.
Oh, so honking's huge.
Do you see what I mean?
That's all right.
What oil do you use with that?
It's like you've got a big-breasted nanny.
Bet it gives off loads of smoke, that.
Yeah.
Oi.
You missed Adams. Don't shout at me.
Was he talking about the oil?
Yeah, he was.
Ladies and gentlemen, we shouldn't be having any of that on here. We've got enough trouble in our lives of the vaping community. Talking about that, Vic, did you see that? Obviously, you might not have seen. I know you've not been well, mate, and I can see now you sort of like when we were on the show, when we did the Vape Around show. I can see you nodding off. Now,
I'm out of my face.
You can tell, mate, and I'm just trying to say,
face
mate,
right now.
if you want to go at any point, you just go, because I can see you don't look, you don't feel too good. But when we did, it's gone.
Still here, Adam.
But you're talking to me.
Shh.
Did
Let's
he
fucking
fucking
screens
shush
up
me?
now, son. Vic's upside down.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
I'm joking.
Fucking don't, because I'm not technically minded, you know this. I just shut my camera off. I fucking stopped stream.
Oh, did I? No. You're all right. I forgot what I'm saying.
Vic's upside down. Vic's
I'm
upside down. That was fucking quick as fucking perfectly timed, mate. Bravo.
So when we were on that show, wasn't it? We were like how he is now.
I was gone. I was gone.
Well, yeah,
I
they're massive
went
coils,
back
aren't they? They're absolutely massive coils, and you don't have to get some vapor.
Vapor.
Pisses
what were
me
you
off.
going to say there, Vic?
Yeah, I actually went back and watched that show because it's up it's still live on Vapor.
Don't say things like that.
It's still live on Vapor Round's channel. And I went back and went, Jesus Christ, how much tramadol did I actually fucking take before that show went live?
But
I was
funny,
gone.
It was like Adam had about 6 grams of coke. Because he was like, my son's bed, right?
Honestly, it's bad when Aiden is the responsible adult.
And I'm sat there going, look, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I should really be drinking, but I'm not. I'm sat there with a cup of coffee going, hey, no, I'm okay. This is fine.
There's another question for us. Is it Denia Juice? Something like that. What English football team do you guys support?
Oh, we know.
Well, he's a mank. I'm a scouser. He
Ah,
don't like
Newcastle.
football. He's more into netball.
Well, that's support Newcastle, you cheeky dick.
Do you?
And I support Kilmarnock because I'm in Scotland.
Kilmarnock.
Kelly. They're never going to win it. They're never going to win the fucking league. It's always Rangers or fucking Celtic. But I support Kelly. The local team.
The problem with the Scottish League as well is, and this is not trying to be any
It's
kind
a two-horse race.
Exactly. And
That's
the
all it
thing
is,
is,
it's a
the
two-horse
two-horse race outclass themselves by going with surviving the Premier League.
And the worst part is when Rangers went bankrupt, it was a one-horse race for about fucking almost a decade.
Yeah.
I think Brian's all upset. It's me just come out of the Romanian jail. So, yeah, what I was actually going to say was, we were talking about the coils and stuff. If you watch the show, the 3 Men and a Vape show, have you seen the new vending machines? Vic?
I'd heard about the vending machines.
Here's the thing, that's not the first vending machine. There's actually 2 other companies that are releasing vending machines in the UK, and one of them is going to be showcasing at the UK Vapor Expo.
Oh,
The thing
that's gonna be
is,
fun to
like-
record.
I wonder how quick it empties.
So the thing with vending machines, so Sweden and other European countries, when the EU started to bring in the TRPR,
EU.
I know.
Extraordinary!
Come on, motherfucker.
I'm sat here with my bad self, Mr. Ronnie Barcade Smith. Check your bad self.
I'm a jolly green jacket. But when the EU started to bring in the TRPR and start to roll it out, they actually started rolling these vending machines out over there because there were a lot of shops that shut. When the shops shut, they started rolling these out. Now, I could never understand the technology because these vending machines could have been used by anyone, but they're not a new thing. They're just obviously starting to develop over here.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, Trevor Lyons, right? Sometimes I don't agree with what he says and what he does say, but he make a good point. Would we rather have cigarette machines or vaping machines? Because if you remember, in our time, there were cigarette machines absolutely everywhere.
Christ, there was cigarette machines fucking everywhere when I was a kid. Everywhere.
They even had them outside. Can you imagine having outside cigarette machines? Now they were ripped off the wall.
Yep.
Mark, so the ICOS stand will not be an ICOS stand. They're probably going to be pushing the Weber.
The what?
The Weber. So
What the fuck is that?
the Weber, I've actually got one on my desk. The Weber is a tobacco-flavored disposable.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking disposable.
A fucking disposable.
Dear me, you've done it now, Adam.
I know. So basically, what's kind of happening at the minute is PMI, the sneaky bastards at PMI,
That's Philip Morris International.
It
for
is.
people that don't know.
yeah, are trying to stick true with their vapor product directive. So they are still in talks to stop making traditional is the key word, tobacco products by the end of 2035, I think it is. Their desired time.
I sure it's as soon as 2025.
No, 2035.
Or
I think
2035.
I think
right.
it might. I think it's around
I think
that.
it was 2030
that
they're
time
going to
stamp.
try and do it, won't they?
Well, the key word for them is traditional tobacco products. So ICOS, yeah,
Quite
traditional.
apt for Easter.
It is. So they're traditional tobacco products, which means that we may see the decline in the manufacture of Marlboro and other cigarette brands. But that doesn't mean that Marlboro will not become an ICOS heat flavour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I envision, obviously they've brought on a lot of people into PMI. They brought in a lot of vape advocates, so all for them, well done. They brought in a couple of decent scientists who are not necessarily turning around and saying vaping's bad anymore, because obviously they're now starting to bring out the vaping products, as they call them. Beginning with the disposable. Now, don't forget, they made an acquisition a couple of years ago of Juul. When Juul were on its arse, PMI went in and went, "Oh, we'll buy you." So their first foray over here in the UK is the Viva disposables.
But it's no different to any other single disposable
no difference
out there, really.
It's not, but the packaging is really weird. So it says it's 18 milligram, but then also states that it's 20 milligram salts. So
how's that past the TPD?
It is, but it's 18 milligram. It states it's 18 milligram as well. So the packaging's slightly wrong. But with their acquisition of Juul, I don't know how true this is. It's only like rumor and speculation, but they are working on a pod system that'll include their flavors that they're trialing in the disposables. So,
do you know one of the first companies, which is from Scotland, and we don't see enough of them,
Jack
as
Vapor.
a UK-based company, which is Jack Vapor.
Yeah.
They've been around for, well, I think they were around when you first started, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, they were. They were.
I've reviewed a number of their products, so same as you, Adam. But they sort of came around with the Vim, I think it was called.
I love the Vim tank.
So the Vim was an enclosed pod, and it was like a circular, like sort of like that thin. But what they were starting to do was they were starting to get people like dinner ladies, and then the people who were around that time, who were big pushers of e-liquid. And they was then going to put the cartridge in there. But I've not heard any more. I've still got my Vim somewhere.
So the Vim was a range. The Vim was a full range. It was an original stock coil tank, if you remember, the Vim tank. And then what they did is tried to bring it back. Now, I get the occasional sales email from Jack Vapor. I must still be part of their mailing group or something. But I think they went a little bit white label for a little bit. Like creating like simple sort of EVOD kits and stuff like that.
They were one of the first really UK manufacturers to start bringing out DNA boards as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
They had were it the 75 something, and
the thing with it is same as everything. So the moment you start, and Lost Vape have done it. Lost Vape have took a time to do it, but what happens is you start paying stupid amounts of money for a DNA board, right? And the DNA board is incredibly good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the DNA board. And the thing is, the product that's built around the DNA board is not always that great. So what we started to see is Lost Vape, their QC towards the end of working with DNA and Evolve, started to go off at ill. Now, Jack Vapor, you hit the nail on the head. They're a UK company that have done really, really well in that bottom end of the market. So the starter kits and the traditional vaping products that we associate with someone who's quitting smoking. The moment that they start knocking it on the head with like a DNA board, they alienate the already solid customer base that they've got. So the DNA chips started to fall away. They made a side-by-side as well a few years ago.
Yeah, but you're talking about like 2017 when they were bringing this out, and it was beautiful. It was like a single mod. It was like,
it got the screen on the bottom, didn't
it? But the Vim, I think, came out roughly about 2018. Like you said, I think it had its own little. It was only about this big, but this was before you sort of had. I think the pod systems were sort of coming in, but it were before that we saw any of these. Like your disposables or anything like that, and they were putting different sort of other brands into it. I think maybe other companies need to look at that again.
Vaping increase the risk of diabetes.
You never even attempted the name.
I know. Dina Juice.
I tried it.
The thing is, all juice has got an inherent sweetness, but it's not sweet. There's a difference. So VG and PG have got an inherent sweetness, but The only time that you get a sweet juice is when a company uses too much sweetener, and there's not enough in e-liquid. Now, don't quote me on this because I don't know the exact science, but there's not enough actual sweetener in there to give you diabetes.
Okay, so it's Dunus Junus. Do we have to be aware of the trash we made from vaping to the nature life? In Indonesia, we have no regulations about it yet. To be honest, unfortunately, I don't know about the diabetes side of it. I can't see how a synthetic sweetener would sit down there, be any different to you having any different. You know, if
you're inhaling it anyway, not ingesting it.
This week than you did the other week. I can't see that doing that. But the trash side of it, we've been lobbying for this for quite a while. Yeah. The 10ml bottles of just having a nick in it is a massive, massive problem. I remember when it first came out, we went to Vape Fest, me and Mark, and the only thing you could see was 10ml bottles all over the floor.
Oh yeah, yep. Yep.
And it is a problem. So why can't we have 30ml bottles or 100ml bottles with nicotine inside it? I can't understand that problem.
It's been on the cards for a long time. The readdress of the TRPR. It has been on, and it's just fell by the wayside. We've had the initial. I know they were on about talking about it before coronavirus hit. There was a meeting planned to start talking about the TRPR, and then coronavirus hit, and then we've had nothing but sort of. We've had changes in PMs. We've had everything else that's come along with it. So it's fell by the wayside. We've actually had the opportunity to start putting our own laws in place when it comes back down to vaping for since we left the EU properly.
Oh yeah.
But talking about companies that were actually trying the best to do stuff, Freemax sat down there and did a lot about the disposable, also about the coils. If you get in touch with them, they will take stuff back. Also, Innokin as well, all their packaging is either cardboard or paper that's going to be recycled, and they're also doing bits with the coils. So there is companies out there.
Riot Squad, they do a starch plastic disposable, which is biodegradable. Now, the battery is not biodegradable, but you can return it to a disposable bin that get given to the shops. We've actually got a Riot Bar disposable bin on the bar on the counter, and the best thing about Riot Bar is what Riot Bar have done is they've released the exact same liquid in liquid form, and their idea behind the Riot Bar is try that, see if you like the liquid, then buy the liquid,
and then get yourself a proper pod system or move up.
That's the idea.
Again, we talk about this all the time. You're empowering the bricks and mortar, and that's what you need to do. All right, we're going to have plenty of companies that are online. People will go and shop cheaper. But if you empower the bricks and mortar and say, well, that's all. If you do buy these disposables, we can then move you on to something else. But the ones that you are using, we can put down in a bin. We can get rid of all the stuff. It makes life a lot easier, and it makes vaping look easy. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, right?
Oh, sorry, go on.
It's all right. I was just going to say that the natural progression right at this moment in time is we are now seeing, and I'm sure Mark and if Bunny's in chat, they'll agree with me. We're now starting to see the influx of the new vapor who are realizing how much they are spending on their own, how much they are spending on disposables. So they are actually moving to pod kits on their own. So it's becoming an easy transition now. Whereas when we had this conversation about 6 to 8 months ago, just in fact nearly a year ago before Expo, it was very much the market was based in disposables. Unfortunately, it was, but we are now starting to see that natural transition, and it can only be a good thing.
The question in there from who was it again? It's gone off. Paul B. I've been off the cigs for 4 years this year. How long have you guys been off the cigs for? Me, it's probably about. It's a hard one. This with COVID, everyone seems to have lost 2 years out of their life. So I'd have took an educated guess at about 7 years. I think I've been off.
9 years for me.
I'm in truly vaping, probably 8 years. I was a dual user for about a year and a half. But that's because I refused. I didn't want to quit at that point. It was actually my mother who'd forced a vape on me originally. And I was like, I'll smoke if I want to smoke. I was 40 to 60 a day. I enjoyed it. And then all of a sudden, the vape takes over, the cigarettes drop off, and before you know it, you're just vaping. So,
yeah.
Because I had no health scares or anything like that. I was a chef. I was smoking a lot. I was drinking a lot because that's what we did. It's probably why I'm near enough teetotal now. But yeah, probably about eight years solely vaping. I did about a year, but back then we had them little fucking cigalikes that made water vapor and top evods and CE4s.
Oh, I remember those.
A CE4 with Hangson. Every vape shop.
What were them vapes called? Where the wick, it was like a pen. I can remember I had a Vision spinner.
Yep.
Right, that was my first ever vape.
Oh, you posh bastard! We have variable
Vision
voltage.
spinner with a variable voltage at the bottom, and the you had the wick going over the top, silica wick.
It's the eye clear.
The eye clear or the C4.
The C4, yeah. Stardusters.
C4. C4.
CE4.
That sounds class. I think they should bring them back in just because it's called C4.
The thing with it, no, it was a CE4. They was originally made by Kangatech, right? And the CE4, the only thing that it had going for it was, in general honesty, silica wick was impossible to burn.
Yeah.
But when it burned or when it went dry, it was horrible.
Horrible.
But every vape shop you went in had Hangson in it.
How long you been off the cigs, Aidan?
About an hour.
About an hour.
It's just people in there. That was
I started in 2006. And they must know the story now. I've said it loads of times. It was actually the first time the smoking ban came into Wales, because it came into Wales before it came to the UK, and we were going down to go and gig there. And before it, I went and bought from a petrol station. I thought, I'll buy one of these vapes. And it was like a cigarette thing. They didn't have any what nicotine it was. It was like low, medium, and high. And it was, I thought it was really cool. You know what I mean? I did it like this. And you can't do that in here. Well, I can do it. It's vaping. You're allowed to do it in here. So I did that for a little while. And then I went on to, I was dual using. Then I went on to one, like we said, the C4s or the ones with the batteries that didn't last.
We used to have a case. You used to have a case back then with like 2 batteries in it and a spare top.
I used to carry, with that netting, I used to carry loads of them around me just so you weren't trying to bum a cigarette. Right? So I did that, and then a bit of stress comes in your life, and then you're back on to this
went all gangster there.
Dual using.
Yeah.
Then I went and got a bit of a different device, and I completely stopped for about 8 months, 9 months, and then I went back to a job which was a bit stressful, back at the Urban. And it used to be like I'd be doing a DJ set, and I'd go back outside and be vaping, and someone would go, do you want a cigarette? And I go, yeah, go on then. And I did that. But then I had a mini stroke 2016 when I joined Last of the Summer Vapes, and I haven't had a cigarette at all since 2016.
I've had a cigar.
I've got them in there, but even at New Year, I used to love a cigar, but
I've had one cigar in all of the time. And that were at my brother's wedding.
In fact, sometimes I sit there and think I'd love a cigar, but no.
We used to do poker nights. So the family, the brothers, we used to do poker nights and organise poker nights, and we would always have a cigar at a poker night.
Yeah,
that was just one of them things that we used to do. I don't think I would do it now. I can't stand the smell anymore. I can't stand the smell.
But do you know what happened to me? There's been loads of times. I think I remember I took a Preco tank out once, and the actual, the bit where you put your juice in collapsed inside, and I was like, this isn't working properly. And so I was like, went and got a bit of tissue, tried to jam it in, and I just went cold turkey all the way through it. I've got this thing of, especially being a reviewer side of it, and you're putting out all this. I don't know, advocacy of stopping smoking. Yeah. I can't be seen to be smoking. I would never want to. I've never fell off the wagon ever.
No, to be fair, mine was, we were all having a photo done with a cigar in his mouth, and I went,
yeah, well,
I'm not staying there now.
Vic, have you ever been tempted? Obviously, we've all seen the photograph with all that fucking tobacco that you had. Have you ever been tempted at all at any stage?
Nah. Well, maybe for the first couple of months, yeah. But after that, nah, not really. Not really.
Have you ever been in a situation where you haven't had a device or something's broke and you've had to do that cold turkey?
Couple of times, and it was fucking murder.
I was
Absolute
actually going to
fucking
say, I think it's easier with vaping. I think it's easier. So when I used to smoke, like I said, I was a heavy smoker. I was a 40 to 60 a day smoker, and the thing with it is, if I didn't have cigarettes, or if I was working on a shift where someone didn't smoke, that was death. Someone was dying. Someone was dying, and. Like now, if let's put it this way, if I'm in shop and I put my vape on charge, and I've got a couple of hours work to do, or I'm serving customers or something like that, to go without it, whether it be a couple of hours or if I even tomorrow, if I forgot my vape to go to work with, I could survive. Like, it's not such a big deal.
Years
I vape
ago,
my fucking face off when I got home.
Billy Lee Rice doing it proper. I was down to 0 milligram.
Poor Billy Lee Rice's fella, right?
Poor
Billy
lad.
Lee Rice is put in. I couldn't go back. My partner stinks, and I can't believe I smelled like that. Poor guy. Fucking hell.
Go and have a bath, son, and then we can have a bit of nookie.
Anyway, gents, I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah,
All right,
we're
Vic,
going to do that. Yep.
I think we're going to follow you very shortly anyway. So
Yeah.
The nicotine, though, is the bit, and I don't know if you saw the Dave Dawn bit. Vic.
yes,
Oh yeah, it's not. What is it you said again? It's not the ones that. Fuck, I can't remember now.
But he put it straight, and it was like, there's nobody died, nobody's done anything.
no,
from
since
it.
2000, since records began, they haven't. But
Oh yeah.
there was a
Sneeze.
there was a
Anyway,
study.
I'm out of here, fellas.
Peace.
Big love,
All
brother.
right, Vic, man.
Look after yourself. See you later.
See you
my
later,
friend.
buddy.
Bye.
I'd already mentioned this one. There was a study in America about fuck off about
Okay.
there was a study in America about the harmless. Vic's gone upside down.
Stop messing around with my fucking screen, son.
The thing is, there was a study done in America on nicotine, and nicotine is proven as to be as harmful. You can't say harmless, but it as harmful.
For the deaf people, he said, "Fuck off."
He's forgot what the question was now.
As harmful as caffeine. And Dave Dawn absolutely nailed it in his post. Like, absolutely nailed it. No one's died from vaping, right? Popcorn lung is irrelevant. Popcorn lung cannot happen to a human male who has been vaping for 6 fucking years.
It never happens to the people who are in the popcorn fucking factories. It can't happen to us.
Exactly. The people who worked in the people who worked in the fucking popcorn factory have been working there from 14 years old to 90, breathing in diacetyl every single day.
Never got it. There's nothing. Obviously, records of them days were not around, but there's nobody who ever got it.
But
see, I read a story ages ago about it just being bronchitis. Like, they've just renamed it. It's just bronchitis.
Basically, it's polyps. So the way that it's actually termed is it's polyps on the lung that are shaped to look like sort of popcorny kind of vibe. Now, Five Porns got in shit for it because they were using.
Did they? Can you remember their stand?
They were using fuck tons of diacetyl in their liquid, right, to make it taste yummy.
Yeah, they bought more for the custards, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it's a vanilla extract. It's not an extract, but it's a vanilla flavorant. So what they do is bang a fucking fuck ton into a vanilla custard. The vanilla custard
than what you'd get in cigarettes.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's one of them that we go up against this every single day. I have the same conversation about 3,500 puffs at least 4 times a day, right? When we talk about harm that can be coming from vaping, it's not from MHRA tested liquids. It's not from products that have been tested and safety. It's not from batteries that have been used for fucking years in torches, in laptop batteries, in power packs for Tesla cars. It's from idiots who don't know what they're doing. Now, them idiots are the people who don't want to listen to the information that is given to them. Now, what happens there is we've got people who go and buy illegal counterfeit disposables, get poorly, and then it gets put on the news. The news then display it as vaping rather than youngster picks up illegal disposable from shop, counterfeit. It's got farm grade nicotine in it that's used for washing cows and gets poorly. It's vaping as a whole blanket. Then you get them people who still, to this day, we still have those people who turn round to you in the pub and go, "You don't know what you're putting in your lungs there, lad."
And he sat down there with half a fucking...
We a filterless roll-up.
And in fact, the other ones are the ones who were smoking. Now, we know the story about my mum. My mum, obviously, smoking went up, so she used to get snide cigarettes, which people used to, it were cheaper. And it was the bum hole of what was scraped off the fucking floor.
Yeah.
And that's what killed her. That's what killed her. She sat down there, and if you've ever seen them, somebody you love looking like a fucking frog, gasping for air, while this stuff's coming out of her lungs. Now, I'm on about, there were a tub of it, like that, Mark will tell you, and it were full of black shit.
Yeah.
And this is the honest run of it. And anybody who sat there smoking who's going, look about vaping, oh, it's vaping, he's going to kill you. No, fucking smoking is. My mum was taking half of that fucking black shit out of her lungs a day just to try and stay alive.
Shrek, just so you know, trading standards are in force at the minute, clamping down. There was a place in Manchester that got a £750,000 fine and £500,000 worth of products seized. And that was 2 weeks ago. They are starting to do the rounds, which is good, but they are understaffed and underpowered at the minute, which is why they are struggling to get round.
The biggest thing that anybody needs to know, and it's the same as alcohol, it's the same as like if I get a bottle of vodka, you buy it somewhere snide, it's going to be cheaper than what you should have been buying it for, then it's going to normally have some antifreeze in it and you're going to die. How many cases of people who've taken vodka, whiskey, whatever else, he's made them blind?
That's why Ed only ever drinks the good stuff.
Yeah. Paint thinners and meths.
Mate, I'm sat down there. Mate,
but that's true.
But it's true, though. You can't say what I'm saying is not true.
Yeah,
so if you don't go to a
it's
reputable company, pay the money that you should do, which is cheap. If you want to vape, and you want to vape good, and you've come from cigarettes, MTL's
that's
very
true,
good.
The thing is...
50-50 Nick Salts.
I always say, and a lot of people turn around to me and go, how can that corner shop sell me that 3,500 puff? And do you know what? You have just given the example that I use. That corner shop was selling you paint thinners 2, 4, 5 years ago and telling you it's vodka. Exactly. They were selling you snide cigarettes that they were telling you were Benson and Hedges with a different label. And they're the people that don't mind doing it because they've gone to their wholesaler and their wholesaler have gone, this is very cheap.
Yeah, of course it is. It's only in Manchester. You can get it from Salford. I don't mean the vapor, but Salford. You can. You go down there. Mate, years and years and years ago, when I were about 20-year-old, I used to go and pick a load of snide Adidas Nike shit up. You can remember when popper stuff come out? I used to go fill my trolley for it. I'd spend 400-500 quid on it, come back up, and then and ship it out and triple my money. Yeah. It's not going to kill anybody, but once you wash it, you're fucked. There's nothing there.
Yeah,
but,
your poppers have fucking fell off.
Yeah, but when you're looking at somebody's health, it's your own fault. If you're, apart from, and I've got to say this, apart from if you're going to go and get an RDA that's from whatever it is, and go and try it out, that's fair enough. It's cost you £5.
The thing is, you can't pick up clones anymore.
As long as you stick that through a sonic cleaner or give it a good old wash before you do it, it ain't going to kill you. It ain't going to explode. As long as everything's all right, it's not going to explode.
And L's in there saying, I had a mate say to me once, oh, that vaping is bad. You don't know what's in it. I was like, mate, you regularly sniff coke off a toilet lid of a dirty fucking nightclub.
So I have said to people that when they come in for these 3,500 puffs, my retort for them at the minute is go and buy cigarettes because at least you know you've got 2,000 carcinogens in it. You've got 2,000 toxins and carcinogens in it. Go and do that because you know what you're doing.
I tell you what, everybody in this chat will be exactly the same as me. Can you remember when we used to smoke and then you'd wake up in the morning and you'd cough it up?
Rough as
come
fuck.
off your fucking lungs. You know, especially if you've been out on a good old night and it were black.
It was rank.
It were black. You tell me what you spit out was not black.
Black and brown. It was rank.
Black, brown, it were absolutely horrible. So don't tell me that you've been doing that same with vaping, because I never have. I've got colds, I've sat down there and I'm all snotty all up and it's that horrible mucusy shit that you get, but it's not black.
No.
That's death.
Just a quick one before we wrap it up. Who is going to Expo?
I'm still in there.
Do we have people going to Expo? Me and Aidan are definitely going. Adams, a maybe.
I'm a maybe.
But you're not going there.
I'm a maybe. I've got my van is in for MOT very shortly, and
Let's get in our bath.
We need to pray for Adam's van.
No, it's gonna cost.
So why don't you just get in our bath?
The thing is, it's money that I'm going to be spending on that to then go.
Well, no, you don't live far away from us, though, do you?
But Adam, we've got a microwave.
You've got a microwave?
Yeah, a microwave.
There's going to be a double bed and there's going to be a futon.
A futon?
I'll get in with me and him, and then you just get on the futon.
Well, I'll have to have a look.
Things going.
I'm that because it's pennies. That's all.
No, fuck it, we'll all club together. We've got pound meals. That's what we're doing. It's going to be a cheap ass run for us. All right, I'm going to have like some of that vodka with, so I can't see man.
you're having paint stripper. It's going to give you them polarized.
By the way, I'll say that afterwards.
B said not this year. Other Sean can't in May. Hopefully October. Mike Haynes, I broke 2 ribs racking.
Oh, mate.
Nightmare.
Well, shall we wrap it all up? Adam, say your goodbyes, brother.
Tan Vapes is going.
If you can get to Wakefield, I'll run you down back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for joining us. Do you know what? I love doing these. I do love, especially on a night like tonight where we were all feeling a little bit tired before we got on stream. It always makes us feel better. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to put some love hearts in chat for the wonderful Mr. Vic for joining us. Obviously, he was smacked off his tits, but he was here. He made an appearance, and we all love him. So can we see some love hearts in chat? Don't forget to go and check out What's That Behind You. I do have a new episode of the podcast coming up this week. It is on Flat Earth. It is going to be constructive. It's not going to be me calling people idiots, which is kind of what I've got to stop myself from doing. But I have got that, and I have got some future plans. So it's going to be quite interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you loads. I love these guys as well. So thank you for joining us. I've turned it up so it's gone really loud.
The wonderful Grizz Jizz.
There is absolutely no peak control on that. I'm telling you now. You just turned that up and it just went fucking wild, mate. You nearly blew me fucking head off. Is it me?
It's you.
Oh, it's me. Yeah, thank you everyone in chat. And like I say, same as Adam said, let's have some love in chat for Vic. He's having a rough time at the moment. Still jumped in. Love you, Vic. Robo Morfat. Other than that, you can catch me on my Twitch at the moment. The Vaping Misfits is on a bit of a hiatus at the minute while we do a bit of rebranding. We will be back in a couple of weeks. Over on Twitch on Zombies Ate My channel. Yeah, go over, give it a follow. Love it. And you can sub to the Vaping Misfits.
Fuck shit, monkey tits.
Yeah, and always remember, fuck shit and monkey tits.
I love the Queen.
Yes. I was waiting for that. Love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, big love to you all. Once again, just same as what the lads have said, we're not here for subs. We're not here to promote our channel on his channel. I'm not having a go at either of you.
Oh, fuck you then.
Yeah, you fucking are.
All three of us
I
have been
take all
mates
that back.
with
What I
Vic
said about
for-
our channel.
Yeah, we've all been mates with Vic for a long time. He's a really good friend of mine, and I think the world of him. He's going through a little bit of a hard time at the minute, so what he needs is all these people who have watched him for all these years, I mean all these years, a little bit of support, that's all he needs. And please do that. It doesn't have to be monetary, just some support.
A thumbs up, a share, just anything like that. Anything like that. Do you know what? What I want, if anyone's watching this on the replay, please do me a favour. Let's have some words of support in the comments.
As you could see, he didn't look very well, did he? He looked very yellow. He tried his best to get on here, and he didn't see myself, as you could see. I could see it all the way through it. I know him very, very well, and he didn't look great, but thank you so much for him coming on. He just needs some support. No criticism. The bloke's done a hell of a lot over the years for the vaping community. And I just think people need to get off his back. And please give a little bit of support. He's trying to be honest of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe that's not the greatest idea, but he is. He puts his art out there, and he's just trying to be as honest as he can be.
Transparent,
which sometimes he gets crucified for. But yeah, no, big love to him, and please look after him. He's an absolute star. Big love to you, Vic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this show.
Get yourself over to Little Bro Vapes.
It's been absolutely fantastic. Big love to you all, and we will catch you next week. We don't care what's going to happen. We are carrying on the UK Vape Show, and Vic will be back. Don't worry. See you later. Good night.